Welcome to this program. The objectives set for the present session are to understand the meaning of educational measurement, to understand the nature of educational measurement, to know the need of measurement in education. First, we will discuss the meaning and nature of educational measurement. Measurement came to the natural science so naturally that no need of thinking about it ever arises. Some scientists believe that the procedures which are known measurement in education or psychology are not truly measurement. It's true to some extent because the term sometimes is so defined that number of dimensions are not included in it. But even then, it's called educational measurement. Measurement means the emphasis is upon single aspect of subject matter, achievement or specific skill and abilities. Measurement through the use of achievement tests yield measures of people attainment in subject matter areas, especially in acquisition of skills and information. Measurement means a precise and quantitative value such as the length of an article in inches or feet or yards or marks of a student on the basis of examination of his answer books. It is the process of assigning symbols to dimensions of phenomenon in order to characterize the status of a phenomenon as precisely as possible. Its objective tool. It is a tool which is absolutely essential for decision making at any stage. The term measurement and evaluation are often used interchangeably. However, in psychology, sociology and educational researches, these two are used separately because they connote two different meanings. Measurement refers to the process of assigning of numerals to events, objects, etc. according to certain rules. Definition of measurement. First, according to Taylor, measurement is assigning of numerals according to rules. Second, Nunley defines measurement. Measurement consists of rules for assigning number to objects in such a way as to represent quantities of attributes. Third, as per J.P. Guilford, measurement means the description of data in terms of numbers, and this in turn means taking advantage of many benefits that operates with numbers and mathematical thinking procedures. Fourth, Campbell defines the measurement as assigning of numerals to objects or events according to certain rules. On analysis of these set definitions of measurement, the main features of measurement are as: first, in the process of measurement, numbers are assigned according to some rules. A number is a kind of numeral which is assigned with some qualitative meaning. In the process of measurement, the investigator does not assign numbers of his own choice, but according to some certain fixed and explicit rules. Usually such rules are of two types. One type is where the procedure is obvious and explicit. Just for example, when one is measuring the length of cloth in feet and inches, rules for assigning numerals are very explicit and clear. But suppose one wants to measure the extroversion trait of personality or the intelligence of a child. Obvious, in such a situation, the rules would not be as clear as in the first example. For measuring psychological, sociological and educational attributes, the rules are generally vague and less explicit. Second, measurement is always concerned with certain attributes or variables or features of an object. It's these attributes or features of the object which are measured and not the object itself. For example, one would measure the aptitude, intelligence attitude, etc. of a person and not the person himself. When an investigator is measuring the attribute of a person, he is faced with two difficulties. First, he may be asked to measure an attribute, the existence of which is doubtful. Extrasensory perception is one such example. Most investigators have failed to show such perception in many individuals. In such case, measurement is not difficult but rather an impossible task. Second, the investigator may be asked to measure attributes which are not unitary but rather a mixture of several sub-attributes. Usually, this happens when one is asked to measure personality, adjustment, etc. Adjustment may relate to home, school, emotions, etc., each of which requires a separate measurement, and any attempt to measure them together may create difficulty. In such a situation, the investigator can, however, measure the attributes with more sophisticated instruments specially designed for the purpose. Third, in the process of measurement, numerals are used to represent quantities of the attribute. In other words, measurement involves the process of quantification. Quantification indicates how much or to what extent the particular attribute is present in a particular object. For example, when the investigator is measuring the achievement of a child in arithmetic, he quantifies it by saying that the child has an 80% marks in this class. This percentage indicates how much of arithmetical knowledge he has gained in the class. Now, the nature of educational measurement. The nature of educational measurement cannot be understood without understanding the nature of mathematics, as both of them are closely related. It's important to understand the nature of numbers as they are basic of all measurements. Bertrand Russell says that the number is class of all classes. For example, 3 men, 3 books, 3 girls, all belong to one class, the common element being 3ness. Measurement in education is much more subjective and complex than physical measurement. In physical measurement, the unit refers to 0 point and is complete in it, and we can measure the whole amount. Physical measurement is absolute and conveys a definite meaning. Educational measurement is concerned mainly with mental development, and hence it's not so much objective, definite and precise. It's done according to some predefined standards which may be much subjective and far from being specific. In educational measurement, there is no absolute 0 point. Measurement is relative to some arbitrary standard. The unit of measurement is not definite. The measurement in education convey a sense of infinity. We can never claim to measure the whole achievement or intelligence of a child. Educational measurement is indirect. We measure achievement through some kind of performance. Measurement is defined as assignment of numbers to objects and events according to logically accepted rules. There are certain properties of numbers that must have parallels in the observed phenomena. These properties are enumerated as: first, the property of identity. A number has identity. Every number is unique and no other number is exactly the same. Second, the property of order. In the number system, numbers have their order or rank, that is, one number being greater than another. Third, the property of additive. In the system of numbers, summing of a certain number with certain other must yield a unique number. This property is the basis for almost all useful operations that can be performed with numbers, because if the numbers can be added, they can also be subtracted, multiplied and divided. Now, the need of measurement in education. There is need for measurement in education and psychology for a large number of reasons and purposes. Educational or psychological measurement is simply the means by which qualitative aspects of human behavior are observed with greater accuracy. Some of the purposes are to make possible more accurate predictions and control in the educational process. The important questions are: what changes in behavior are described? How these changes are measured? What are the crucial elements in the process of education? Which qualitative and quantitative abilities are essential to the development of a given form and level of behavior? There are quite a large number of needs which are fulfilled through the medium of measurement. First, over-planning in education. An efficient utilization of manpower is essential in any modern society. We want to find what levels and combinations of aptitudes are important in the development of the desired types of behavior in each vocational area. What is the distribution of each talent and talent combination of the population? How can we harness and prepare the human resources available for their optimum role in the development and betterment of society? Measurement provides a feedback in all aspects of education planning so that our educational programs are oriented and updated time to time. Second, educational placement. There are two overall functions of education. First, the integrative and the second, differential. Integrative education is according to individuals' aptitude and is designed to make people alike in their ideals, values, loyalties, virtues, language, general intelligence and social adjustment. It also refers to as general education. It gives cohesion to the social group. Differential education, on the other hand, is designed to prepare individuals for the required professionals and specialties. The obligations of the elementary school as per general education is to adapt the curriculum to the measured aptitude and ability of the students. As per the differential function, the students are selected in terms of their ability to succeed in various professional and special courses. Third, guidance and counseling. The measurement is done for the selecting students who will succeed in a given curriculum. The student counseling is concerned with measurement as an aid to help the individual students to find the vocation, college curriculum and social environment which will ensure his successful adjustment. The student's aptitude, interests, personality traits, study skills, social skills and achievement profile are assessed with a view to enable him to make an optimum vocational, informational and social adjustment. Through the process of counseling, information about the individual and about his environment is organized and reviewed to enable him to reach workable solution to a variety of adjustment problems. The uses of psychological measurement in counseling are such as the objective appraisal of personality for better self-understanding and self-direction, the comparison of individual performance with the performance of others, improved basis of prediction, evaluation of personal characteristics, evaluation of achievement and growth and disclosure of capacity and potentiality, as well as the diagnosis of mental disabilities and deficiencies and aberrations. Finally, it has to be used in the evaluation of the outcomes of counseling. Fourth, Improvement of instruction. The power of measurement to modify and to improve the instructional procedures is being exceedingly realized. Educational goals have become more definite and meaningful. In appraising the effects of learning experiences, we not only test but also evaluate. It involves the identification and formulation of measures, objectives of curriculum, their definition in terms of pupil behavior, and the construction of valid, reliable and practical instruments for observing the specific phases of pupil behavior. Measurement helps in selecting objectives. One can't measure the outcome of course without knowing what particular change in behavior are sought in the course. A school should, in the first instance, emphasize objectives that are most in harmony with its philosophy, psychology of learning, students' development by measuring their attainability. Measurement provides some data to be used in making wide selection of objectives. Fifth, measurement will help in supervision and administration of instructions. The use of measurement program as a major supervisory device has advantage over the sole dependence upon the supervisory observation. Another function of supervision is coordination. This coordination is to ensure that various persons and groups make an effective contribution to the common purpose of the program. Many decisions, many adjustments in a professional program are made as the program develops and cannot be predicted with precision in advance. Educational measurement contributes to this coordination in many ways, as the content and learning experiences are appraised by tests. Each teacher gets a clearer view of the kinds of material and the procedures used by other teachers and their effectiveness. Educational measurement can make contribution to administration also in selecting personal scores on achievement test. Represent one index of competence. The quality of the work that a teacher does is partly indicated by the measured progress made by his students. The result of achievement test provides an important basis for identifying instructional problems. They can provide data regarding the probable contribution of various kinds of building facilities, supplies and equipments towards the goals of instruction. Sixth, improvement of learning situation. The facts, principles and relationship established through research and measurement constantly serves the basic data in the critical examination of the prevailing school organization in the form of its objectives, procedures and infrastructure. Measurement serves as a tool in increasing the effectiveness, efficiency and output of a school. Measurement can substantially help in establishing learning situations appropriate to the needs, abilities and potentialities of the individual students in the diagnosis and evaluation of specific learning difficulties, in the motivation and directing of learning experiences, and in the development and maintenance of skills and abilities. Measurement helps in the classification and grouping of the students so that no embarrassment or stigma is attached to the group works for common learning needs. There is a group solidarity resulting from common goals, common understanding, common efforts, common difficulties and common achievements. Individual attention is also made possible for specific accomplishment deficiencies. The individual can be given reading material and problems according to his level of ability. Optimistic and encouraging attitude would prevail for the individual, ultimately making success possible for him. The student will be made aware of his specific errors, misunderstanding and shortcomings. The process measurement will provide to the teacher economical method of determining the attitudes, abilities, physical conditions and self-adjustment of each student. Seventh, the problem of individual differences. With the help of measurement, the group of students can be made relatively homogeneous with respect to general ability and then subjected to standardized educational methods using uniform contents, assignments, methods of teaching and learning and examination appropriate to the level of achievement. But sometimes the measurement depicts heterogeneity resulting from the trait differences within the individual as well as variation between individuals. In such cases, the traditional mass instruction procedure must be discarded in favor of techniques designed to meet individual needs. Grouping within the class on the basis of achievement in specific learning areas is one of the most essential procedures in meeting individual need. Some of the grouping may be continued over a long period. Others may be for the limited time until the need for grouping no longer exists. Grouping should be practiced not only in terms of needs in skill areas but also in terms of interest in a topic or in terms of personality and social needs. The plan of reporting the marks or letters, grades to parents is not consistent with the policy of meeting the needs of individual people. It's more beneficial if the teacher can sit down with the parents and discuss all aspects of child's achievement and needs. Eighth, diagnosis and treatment of learning difficulties. Active learning would result in complex behavior pattern which may be differentiated into higher or lower degrees of habits, skills, understanding, feelings, etc. In general, the individuals differ greatly in the rate of development of given trait and in the level of development attained at maturity, because various traits of an individual develop at different rates and reach different levels of maturity. The need for remedial attention is indicated when progress in an area is stopped midway or markedly slowed down over a period of time. The determination of pupil status in a given area of achievement and the adjustment of the instructions required in view of a desired level of status should be a continuous process in every instruction. Both achievement tests and diagnostic tests have important function to perform in such situations. Perhaps diagnostic testing is more justified in connection with the treatment of more severe cases of maladjustment and arrested development. This is all related to our today's topic, that's meaning, nature and need of measurement in education. Hope you've enjoyed and understood. Thank you for